Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Is it Marvel Snap? No, it's Marvel Remix. A game you probably have never heard of. But, as they say, it's based on Fantasy Realms. I thought it was just designed biting Fantasy Realms, but it's actually based on Fantasy Realms, and I recently bought Fantasy Realms, so now I kind of have another copy of this for no good reason. But anyway, create an epic team up, one card at a time, based on the acclaimed card creator, Bruce Glasgow. Based on the card game by Bruce Glasgow. But I guess it'll be a little different though. Through Marvel Remix's intuitive gameplay, you'll build a team of iconic heroes and allies, arm them with powerful equipment and maneuvers, and visit familiar locations, all while taking on infamous villains. Players are dealt a hand of 7 cards representing characters, items, or places from throughout the Marvel Universe. Each turn, you'll draw from the hero deck, the villain deck, or the cards discarded by your opponents before discarding the card yourself. Get ready for an epic, unique superhero battle. Surely there will be an expansion for this to come, and then I got to choose if I want to buy the Fantasy Realms or the Marvel Remix expansions. But let's see how different they are. Whiz Kids. Dang, she's blessed. Alright. Card 7 scoring. Looks a little less complicated than the Hero Realms score sheet. Stack of cards 1, stack of cards 2. No secrets, no secrets. Villain cards, silica. Alright, let's see what's the difference. Introduction, gather your heroes or take on villains. In Marvel Remix, you'll use heroes, allies, conditions, equipment, locations, and maneuvers to create exciting superhero battles. Collect familiar teams or create new pairings as you tell your own stories. Components, 1 rule book, 61 remix cards, 18 villain cards, 1 scoreboard, 1 score pad. Overview. In Marvel Remix, you want to assemble the highest scoring hand possible. Each turn, you'll draw cards from the Remix deck, the villain deck, or the discard area. Before reviewing your hand and choosing 1 card to discard, each card has a power value of its own and unique additional scoring rules based on the other cards in your hand. At the end of the game, you'll add all your base power and bonus points. And all your cards, you must have at least 1 hero or ally and at least 1 villain, or you will score 0 points. Okay, so that's a twist on it. And then there's also the twist of the villain deck. In the base game, there's no 2 separate decks of Fantasy Realms. Okay, so you got to have 1 hero, 1 ally, and 1 villain. Victory goes to the player with the most points. Card anatomy. Every card has a name and a type, but not every card has tags or text. Name, type, hero, ally, condition, equipment, hero, ally, condition, equipment, location, maneuver, and villain. 7 types. And no villain types cards are in the remix deck. Okay, villains are just only in this separate deck. Base power. Most cards have a base power level that lets you add to your total point value at the end of the game. Tags. Cards often have a number of tags that represent their abilities and affiliations. Tags aren't worth points on their own, but cards will often refer to the tags in your hand. Tags include tech, intel, strength, and agility, fight, range, Wakanda, Asgard, mutant, gamma, worthy, urban, and boss. 13. Text. Most cards have a bonus that specifies what other cards provide with it. Points. Cards gain or lose points based on the other cards in your hand at the end of the game. Bonuses referring to the types are color-coded to match the feels of the cards. Card text may also add or remove tags under certain conditions. Note that all effects are mandatory unless they say otherwise. Bonuses are not affected by the cards in other players' hands. Alright, setup. Shuffle the remix and villain decks separately. Deal every player 6 remix cards and 1 villain card. Place the 2 decks side by side with space nearby for a discard area. Choose a starting player at random with play continuing clockwise. Okay, discard area, example setup for 3 players. Alright, turns. During each player's turn, they must choose one of the 3 options. Draw the top card of the deck. Draw the top card of the villain deck. Take a card from the discard area. Then discard a card. Yeah, like you always discard at the end of the turn. But all the cards in the discard area should be placed face up and spread out. End of the game. The game ends when there are 10 cards in the discard area. Count up your power and bonus points, and the player holding the highest scoring hand wins. Any hand that does not have at least 1 hero, ally, or villain scores 0 points. Coming game terms. With these terms, if a card has with a certain, then you only get the +4 with any location bonus one time. For each, then you can get it each time. Blank, certain cards, blank other cards. And then, yeah, blanked unless with, yeah. Transforms with. Some cards have a transform ability. If you meet the transform with requirement, rotate the card so the transform text is upside down. So, to split cards, you'll only count the tags on the left side of the card. If you meet the requirements, you must transform. Must transform. Let's go ahead and tag that up. You must transform. If you meet the requirements, you must transform. Left side. Alright, scoring hands. At the end of the game, each card in your hand scores points based on the other cards in your hand. If you don't have at least 1 villain and at least, or your score is 0. If a villain, ally, and hero is blanked, it does not count for the requirement. Okay, if they're blank, they do not count. Okay, that's an interesting twist on it. If a villain, ally, or hero is blanked, does not count for the requirement. You may want to first count tags separately before counting bonuses as cards text. Okay, ignore all cards that are blanked. Add up the total base power of your cards. Add up all bonuses granted by a card text. The player holding the highest score wins. If a tie, the players share the victory. Scoring example. Frequently asked questions. Alright, cool. Alright, that was 7-8 minutes. And then I'm going to split this up into 2 videos. Flipping through the cards. Yo Games. Like, comment, subscribe. Spock.